In university, I carried this around with me everywhere I went for 2.5 years. Hi little nerds, it's Mother Glover, and I'm here to tell you the legend of Turtle Girl. Now this story goes back to when I was in second year university, and let's just say I was a little eccentric. And when you hear eccentric, please hear mentally unbalanced or creative. Either way, I went through its stage. Okay, so I used to dress up really crazy. I just wore weird outfits. Everything was sort of, I don't know what I was doing. Anyway, it was a little while out. Crazy hair. Like really crazy clothes. Just like a bunch of stuff about me was a little off. In terms of carrying things around with me that weren't exactly normal, I won in my residence bingo a pair of bat glasses. It was a pair of, like, I guess plastic Halloween glasses that had like a cartoon bat in the middle, and like these were the wings. And I thought they were so cool that I wore them every day with every outfit for 6 months. I thought that was really cool, and I even wore them to my sister's university graduation, thinking that this was just who I was. And my mom was like, "Can you just take them off for the pictures at least?" And I was like, "What are you talking about? This is my style." Okay, I didn't like realize that maybe they were slightly inappropriate for all occasions. I went to the University of Guelph, and the University of Guelph, it has a really cool residence called Arts House, and Arts House had about 50 people in it, and one of those people was my friend Jay. So Jay comes up to me one day and he says, "Have you been to the arcade lately?" And I said, "No," and he's like, "There's a really cool prize at the arcade." And I say, "Well, I doubt that, because the last time I was there were just a bunch of erasers and blow-up shoes. So I'm pretty sure no." And so he said, no. There's actually a really cool prize. It's a really realistic looking rubber sea turtle that has that you can win for 1,500 tickets. Okay, now 1,500 tickets in arcade talk is like a gajillion million tickets. Like, it's so many tickets. And he says, "I already have 500 saved up. I'm gonna get this turtle." I'm like, okay. So I go down to the arcade and I see this little guy, right, sitting behind the counter, and he has a sign on him that says, "Win me 1,500 tickets." And I'm like, okay. Lo and behold, I'm in my residence room that night, and I'm lying in my bed, and I'm staring at the ceiling, and I started thinking about this turtle. And I started thinking, I wonder if he's okay right now. I wonder if he's alone and cold and scared in the arcade all by himself. So instantly I personified him, and it became a panicked, "If I do not get this turtle, my life will be over." Like, it escalated quickly, okay? So basically the next day, I was so paranoid that if Jay already had 500 tickets, maybe somebody else had tickets, like, let it go. So I went and got my friend Steve, and I borrowed my roommate Rachel's Superman t-shirt, because this was a mission. And then me and Steve went to go to the arcade to get this turtle. Now, it took us, we were gonna play the game Skee Ball. If any of you remember Skee Ball, it's the one with the holes, okay, that like kind of like a dartboard, but you roll a ball and it goes into for different points. So basically you get, like, I don't know, 7 tickets per game on average, because we were like average scores. So we just played that for 5 hours. It cost about $50. And then we finally had enough tickets. We basically played and then high five, and like it was a mission. We skipped our classes, like, not anyway, it was crazy. So we get our tickets and we get this turtle, and we're so excited, okay? And we go immediately into one of those photo booths, okay? And the first picture is just me and Steve being like, "Hey, what's going on?" Then the second one is us kissing, like the turtle head just sticking up right here, and we're being like, surprised. And then the third one is us kissing him, and then the fourth one is us going, and then we took that strip of paper of photos, and we we stuck it to Jay's door, being like, we got him first. And because of that, I named him Dibs. Now, as you can see, Dibs is not a small turtle, so the fact that I carried him around with me anywhere is quite surprising. So this is him from the side. Okay. Oh. Right. Oh, such a beautiful turtle. Okay, and then from upside down. So the detail on him is quite good. So from afar, people weren't sure if he was alive or not. And anyway, so basically I thought he was so cool and I wanted to show everybody my my lovely prize. Okay, so basically I took him everywhere with me to show my different classes, my different groups of people. I was on different committees. I was a little I had a lot of people that I needed to show. So basically, I took him around. It took me about 2 weeks to get to every group that I knew. And on the end of the second week, I put him down and I left him in my my residence room. And then I went to class. And then someone was like, "Oh my God! Like, where's Dibs? Like, where's he at?" I'm like, "I don't know." And I'm like, so I needed to have my turtle. So at this time it was January, and we had I needed to get a new winter coat. So I got this red felt parka with like this fake fur trim hood, and then it's kind of zipped up and it had like embroidered Eskimos on it. Okay, like, I don't know, but it was just big enough to fit him in the front, and I could zip it so that his little fins stick out and his head stick out, and there was me. Okay, and I'm walking around and literally I could carry him and have my hands free. I thought this was great. Okay, and basically I carried him around with me everywhere I went for 2.5 years. Okay, I became known as Turtle Girl. And people would say, "Oh my God, is that thing real?" Okay, that was the big thing. And I'd be like, "It's my turtle, it's Dibs, oh, it's so crazy." Okay, like, I don't know, it was super bizarre. Again, remember, I wore back glasses for 6 months. Like, okay, something's a little wrong. So basically, it became known as Turtle Girl to a lot of people. So then they would be like, "Hey, Turtle Girl," and it became sort of a weird thing. Okay. It was Dibs's birthday. Now, he was going to be 1 year old, so we were going to throw a party. Now, I also happened to be the social committee person for the Fine Arts Network, which raised money in different funds for the juried art shows and things like that. So I was like, "Hey, let's have a party for my turtle." And then some people would say, "Well, is it like, I think you're crazy. You can't have a party for a rubber turtle." And then, of course, in hindsight, it's like, well, was it crazier to have a birthday party for a rubber turtle, or was it crazier that we rented out a bar, we got a live band to play, BMX, and 300 people showed up and paid $5 to get in. There was also a newspaper article, and the newspaper article came out. They were doing the urban legends of Guelph, and there was 3 of us. One was Cajun Bob Cajun, who I don't really know the story. He was some like cowboy guy who like slept in his closet. Okay, if anyone knows who Cajun Bob Cajun was, please tell me in the comments. The other was Happy Cab 15, who was this really cool cab driver who you could not request. You just kind of hoped and you got it. And he had a bunch of music in his cab, and it was all decked out in like shag carpeting and like a disco ball, and like it was you go to go get groceries, and it's like a super crazy party. It was awesome. Happy Cab 15, and of course Turtle Girl and me. And so they did an article in the paper, the school paper, about it. I would also go to there's a big fountain in downtown Guelph, and the great thing about this guy is that he floats. So he would be swimming around, being pushed by the currents and stuff, and be hanging out. The bus drivers only refer to me as Turtle Girl. Like, come on and be like, "Hey, Turtle Girl." I don't know how I didn't introduce myself as that. I don't know how I got to be known. In particular, groups of tourists who for some reason went to Guelph would want to take group pictures with me, so there would be like me and my turtle, and then a whole bunch of like I don't know, like Asian tourists. Like, so I'm sure somewhere in China there's a bunch of photo albums with like some crazy turtle girl. They're like, oh, you're so cute, Canadian. Okay, I'm like, oh my god, okay. Little bizarre. All right. There were different theories about why I was carrying around this turtle. One was that I was in biology and he was my real turtle that I stuffed because I had like issues or something. Well, maybe a little bit true. The other one was that he was a mascot and I carried the mascots on Tuesdays and Thursdays, like elaborate things. I don't know where they got this information. But no one really understood why, and I didn't really understand why either. I just kind of liked him, and I liked to bring him places, and he came to all of my classes, he came to all of the parties, he was just there, and and I dress him up for Halloween, and it was really it was really fun. So it's just one of those things that if you're especially if you're a young adult going through your experimentation phase, I got tattoos, I got piercings, I dyed my hair a bunch of crazy colors, then I also experimented a little bit with turtle. Okay, so I suppose there are worse things. Yeah, like I didn't get pregnant, I didn't get hooked on heroin, okay, so I'll take it. So that's the story of Turtle Girl. Until next time, I don't know, take care, be weird, okay? Bye, little nerds.